Yo. Hi. So, I guess we're live. All of a sudden, it's a little bit spontaneous. I haven't been going live lately. I mean, I think the last time I was live was like, I feel like I'm doing a confession where it's like, hello Twitch, I'm here. The last time I streamed was, I don't know, lots of weeks ago, and I'm streaming today. Please forgive me for not going live every day. Because if you know me, you know that when I look around and I see the world, I see a lack of content. And so I went to Twitch today and now, don't get me wrong. If, I work with a lot of streamers, and the streamers that I work with, I don't want them to be offended when I say, because streamers I work with are amazing. That's why I work with them. That's why they work with me, because they're incredible. All right, so their content is live right now on Twitch, and it's good content. But I looked at all the rest of the content. I was looking at the front page, and I was looking at even some of my following list, and guess what I saw? I saw a lack of content. I was like, oh no. I was like, I have to go live. When you have the calling, it's like the universe is telling you, Psynaps, you have to go live because all of the content out there is crap, except for the streamers that I work with. Their content is amazing. But I don't think that me and my friends can carry all of Twitch by ourselves. So I had to go live today. I hope that makes sense. I tried to explain that, the nicest way that I could. But tell me what's going on with you. So now you know what's happening with me and why I'm live. I'm rescuing the world right now. I had to go live. I've been watching a lot of YouTube lately. Not so much Twitch. I watch Twitch, but when what is going on here? Let me turn that off. When I watch Twitch, it's usually because I'm part of a stream. I might not be live myself, but I'm helping people to go live and, do content and stuff. And so that keeps me really busy. And I get plenty of content just being a part of the content. And you'll see that's pretty common, I think, with streamers on Twitch is streamers don't tend to watch a lot of other streamers. I think it's very rare. I think if you found a streamer who watched a lot of other streamers, that would be pretty rare. But tell me what you think about that. I could be wrong. I think that's just, that might just be, my experience. But I know you guys are watching a lot of Twitch, but guess what I do watch a lot of lately? And that's YouTube. So I've been enjoying YouTube a lot lately, and some of the content on YouTube has been amazing, and it kind of makes me wonder if it would be fun to make more YouTube videos. I made the last YouTube video that I made about the drone streaming video. So weird. That video did great. I mean, it gets thousands and thousands of views. I get lots of comments on it and lots of people reaching out to me and be like, hey, how do I stream my drone? How do you do drone streaming? And so I was like, okay, you know what that means? That means you gotta make more drone videos because people like, the drone videos. But then guess what? I didn't make any more drone videos. Why not? I don't know. But I've been taking some amazing pictures with my drone. I love my drone so much. But Super Freak is here. Welcome, Super Freak. I'm streaming on Twitch, and I'm also streaming on YouTube. So I have to try to do that. It's hard to stream on multiple platforms at the same time because you have different chats, and then everybody gets mad. Because if you're talking to YouTube, then all the Twitch viewers are like, why are you talking to YouTube? I can't see YouTube. Why? So that's always pretty awkward. Or if you're talking to Twitch, the people on YouTube think you don't care about them. So that's always an asshole move, to stream to multiple platforms at the same time. But as you know, if you know me, I try to be more of an asshole as much as I can. Whenever I get the opportunity, I try to be more proactive because I'm too much of a nice guy. I'm always nice. I'm always considering how other people feel and whatever people think. But when we go live, We don't do that. Everybody knows that if you want to have a good live stream, you can't care about anything that the viewers think or say, and you have to purposely be mean to them to let them know that you don't care about them, but secretly you do care about them, but you can never let them know that. Because once you are the nice guy, then everybody, thinks you're nice. So we can't let that happen. We're not going to let you know that. I'm always going to be very upfront and transparent. I actually am a softie, but don't tell anyone that, because I wouldn't want anyone to think I'm nice. I will purposely be an asshole. But here's the thing about being an asshole on Twitch and YouTube is I'm an equal opportunity asshole. So I'm the same amount asshole to everybody. So never take it personal. If I'm a jerk, and if I have never been a jerk to you before, I apologize. Your time is coming, and I will definitely fit you in ASAP. But it's equal opportunity for you guys. But let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. I see WAAM is here. Super Freak was trying to say that Pennsylvania, you're in Pennsylvania. How is Pennsylvania, by the way? I've met a couple of people in that area recently, and I'm like, oh shit, I wonder how it is to live over there, because I'm in New Mexico, right? And although the weather has been nice, it gets really hot, and so this is my laboratory. It gets very hot in my laboratory. I have, it's cooled. It has air conditioning. You have to cool all of the computer equipment and all that stuff. So, I spend a lot of money on cooling. But you know what? It's sometimes a drag to have to cool. And then sometimes when it gets so hot in the summer, because it's the desert, it's actually hard to keep it cool. So I keep telling Miss Psynaps that we got to move over to Pennsylvania, Or I met someone in Maryland this week, and I was thinking, Maryland? I was like, holy shit. I haven't been to Maryland for a long time. I don't even remember what it's like in Maryland, except for the weather and how amazing the seasons are. And I was thinking, I wonder if it's any cooler up there than it is down here. And I bet it is. So Rosalie says Central PA here. Whoa! So what? Everybody is in Pennsylvania right now. All right. So, yeah. And how's the weather? Because that's important. The heat is killing us over here. So all you got to tell me is it's cool, and then I'll want to go. That's probably all I need to know right now. But yeah, I am curious. I think I'm streaming to the West Coast right now. So I'm kind of like in the Southwest. So usually when I stream to a server, I'll stream to the West Coast servers. And I think I'm logged into WoW right now. You don't see it on the screen yet because I haven't put WoW up yet. I'm just like, just getting started. But we're going to go into World of Warcraft. And I think I'm on a West Coast WoW server, so I get lower ping times. But I also have servers all over the East Coast. And so for people that are streaming in Pennsylvania and stream, in that area, I have data centers over there where we do stream technology and stuff for those. So if you ever need those super low ping times, that's why we put them over there on the east. Rosalie says I'm in the mountains. Did you say mountains? There's no mountains in Pennsylvania. Actually, I don't live there or spend any time there, so I actually don't know if there's. I just didn't think there was mountains in Pennsylvania for some reason. And in my defense, if there are mountains, and I'm wrong about that, then in my defense, I will say there are tons of mountains. No, there's not. There's no mountains, and you guys are trolling me. This is the internet. I'm not going to take this. I'm not going to take this trolling from you guys. I'm putting my foot down. There's no Appalachian Mountains chains. You guys are full of it. And here's why. Okay, in my defense, I know that the Appalachian Mountains are a real thing. At least people think they are. But what I'm trying to say is I'm in the Rocky Mountains. Okay, so when you say Appalachian Mountains, those are, to me, like, I don't know. I guess you could say hills, maybe like a speed bump in the road. You know, you don't even really have to slow down when you're going over it because it's not really a mountain. It's just like a little thing. So now I think we're on the same page, and now we understand what the problem was, why I didn't think there was mountains there, because my mountains are huge. They're very large. They're bold. They have big rocks in them. They're very tall and very hard. You know, the Rocky Mountains, like, I'll show you a picture. They're incredible. They're incredible. I mean, when you say mountain, it's like, I'm thinking mountains, not like, you know, little hills, but that is cool. You know, what's the best thing about mountains is, you know, even though whether whose mountains are bigger or not, that doesn't matter. The nice thing about mountains are that they give you bearings. They make you feel like at home. Do they not? I think that's what mountains do. They make you can see them, so you always know which direction you're headed. Unlike Texas, that's flat. Let's hope somebody from Texas comes in. So see what I did there? I ganged up on you because my mountains are bigger and I made you feel small. And now I'm going to team up with you, and then we're going to work together to make fun of Texans, and then we're going to make them feel small, you know, because they are. So that would be like the ultimate outcome for me. I hope somebody from Texas is here so we can really, you know, let them have it. Anyway, let's switch over. Let's switch over to the. You see how sensitive I am? I need to stream more. This is what happens when you don't stream. You get all touchy about, you know, you think you're being trolled all of a sudden, instantly. But I think I'm always that way anyway. I don't think I settle down anymore. As I get older, I don't think I lose any like energy. I get weirder, but I have the same amount of energy. I just get weirder, and it's just like more weirdness. So let's check out. But that happens every year of your life anyway. You're like 25, you're weirder than you were when you were 20. I think it's my theory of weirdness. Let's check this out. So I'm using OBS, and I have all my scenes right here. That I have like 50 scenes. Let's see if I can remember how to work OBS. I've been playing WoW. Did you know that last season I was I gotta check something really quick, but I think I finished last season at like 31 or 3200 mythic. I couldn't really go any higher than that because I started like halfway through the season, same as I did this season. Like I just started playing mythics again, and the season's almost over. So we'll see how high I can get. I'm not like trying to get super competitive, because if you notice, the people who are getting really high ratings in World of Warcraft, if you look at their stats, like on what's it called, on their stats, you'll see that you have to play a lot of mythics, especially if you're pugging. If you're not pugging, and you actually have like friends or a guild that, you know, and you're really pumping, okay, then you go straight to 3,500 or, you know, wherever you want to go. But what I found is most people are not doing pre-mades and doing guilds. Most people actually are pugging all the way up to those higher rankings. And I didn't know that at first. It took me a long time to figure out that you could actually pug up that high. I was under the impression that you could pug to like 2K or something, and then your life was over unless you were part of a guild or had some friends that like to do like higher mythics. But then I started talking to people, and they're like, no way, I pugged like 3,500 in 2 weeks or whatever. I'm like, what? Like, shut up. Okay, I'm gonna try that. And then I did, and then I got that was the first time that I passed 3K, you know, just pugging. Like I was my own barrier, you know. I didn't believe that I could do it. I thought there was some rule that said you can't go that high just pugging with random people, because random people just suck. You're just gonna be like not timing it all the time. And so that is true. I think that when you pug it, what happens is you have to run more. And that was the point I was trying to make, was you have to really put the time in, because people do try to join mythics that they have no business being in. And I think you guys know what I'm talking about. That's one of the ways that you can really push. Like when you're pushing, the idea of pushing rating is you have to push. That means you're always taking a big bite. You know, you're always going up a level or two, a couple of notches higher than maybe what your gear is at, you know, because you're pushing, you're always going further. And so that's the fastest way to gain rating. However, what happens is people will push a little bit too much where they're joining mythics that are higher than what they can really even handle. And that puts a lot of stress on the team. Now, remember, I'm a healer. I did, I was doing 3K plus as a healer. I think right now I'm like, I don't know, 2,600, 2,700. I'm approaching because I just started. And as a healer, I feel the weakness. Like when the team is weak, when you have people who don't like interrupt or kick or whatever, you can make up for that. You know, if you're just like big D DPS, and you're just like, you have good gear, you're just really good, then maybe you don't need to kick so much. Everything just dies. So you can actually make up for a lack of interrupts and stuff if you just have a lot of strength and you have a lot of DPS and you're moving fast, right? But if you don't, and you're right on the edge, which a lot of people are, because they're still in that pushing phase, they don't have a lot of extra power and a lot of extra DPS. Even if they're great, even if their mains have like crazy DPS, like their alts are coming in trying to push, and they suck a little bit. They don't suck, they're actually good, but their gear sucks. Then interrupts and stuff are way more important, and the healer can definitely feel that. I can feel anything that's wrong with a group. You know, if the tank is not using defensive, if the DPS is not interrupting or whatever, all those little things result in, you know, somebody could die. Mana, using a little bit of mana. Maybe I used half my mana reserves because something's kind of toxic, not toxic, but something's kind of poisoned in the team, you know, somebody who's not kicking or somebody who's AFK or whatever that. So maybe that's just something the healer sees. I think as a DPS, you don't really see that. As a DPS, you can tell when things are slow. You're like, oh no, are we going to time? You know, halfway through, you start getting worried to be like, oh, I don't know if we're going to time, guys. So you can tell that the team is kind of sick, I think, when, as a DPS. But as a healer, you can really tell, like, a lot. So what are you guys playing? Are you guys playing World of Warcraft? You're probably excited about the expansion. What's the expansion called? I don't even remember. I'm an old school WoW guy. There's already a million. I don't even keep track of the names or the changes anymore. It's like, it's too much for me. All I know is I have to buy it again. And I always like to bitch about this. I bitch about this every single time. This is like standard Psynaps WoW bitching. And usually during the bitching, it comes up like, you know, I'll tell everybody, how much money have you paid for WoW since you first started WoW, you know, and nobody's going to have an amount because nobody actually wants to go and do that math. All you know is it's going to be a lot, right? So another expansion comes out and guess what? We're going to probably go out and buy it because you can't quit WoW. It's like impossible. So I'm going to do it. But when I do it, I buy a few because I have multiple accounts that I've maintained all of this time. So this is my main account. And then I have a second account. I think I've even had a third at some point, but just two for now. And one is for the kids. So the kids have one, I have one. And so they can play together and they'll play on my account. And then the other, well, I think that technically the other account is my wife's account. So she'll share with one of the kids and then I'll share with one of the kids. And then they'll play together. And then, because my wife, she doesn't really play Miss Psynaps. She doesn't play too much anymore, but she used to play a lot. Like she had more characters than I did. So I never thought I would be able to get her to play. It was a miracle that she started playing in the first place. But just like everyone else, once you start playing, you're like, whoa, there's something in WoW for everyone. And then she realized that she likes BGs and transmogs. And there's a couple of things that she likes to do. What do I like to do? I like mythics. I also like, I think not so much lately, but you know, there was a time where I think it was when I was running my Pally. I just played all arena, like arena, BGs, no PvE really, but it's a little bit opposite now. I play all PvE and haven't really been playing any PvP. I'll go in every once in a while because I have to. And I notice when I do go in, I like just go straight back into it. It's like riding a bike. You know, I start messing with people in PvP, just like instantly. It's like, I remember. But now it's PvE because that's like my gaming diet lately. It kind of fits my schedule where I can go into a mythic, play a mythic or two. And that's just the chunk of time that I have, to play games and progress in games. And then I get the feeling of progression too. I think that's so important for any game, is that you feel like your character is progressing in terms of, gear and items and status and all of those things, rating, whatever it may be. So what are we going to do now? I don't know. Let's look at what's queuing up. But Grin says, aren't you the dude that made YouTube videos for Swifty? That's right. Swifty and I made some videos together, and I saw Swifty was live, and I still work with Swifty a little bit. I help him with his IRL since I started. I stopped doing editing and I started doing stream tech. So Swifty will ask me every once in a while. He's like, dude, we got to do some more videos. And I'm like, oh shoot, I know, but I'm up to my neck in stream tech. And he's like, all right, well, I'm going to be IRLing. So, we have him set up with a little IRL setup, which is pretty cool. So whenever you see him IRLing, he's streaming through our Miami servers, which is pretty cool. So it's really nice always to see Swifty still going. And dude, he's a pro. That's how separate the men from the boys, I think, is just that endurance. You can't stop Swifty. You don't have to like love him or hate him, like his content or not like his content. It doesn't matter. The dude is a machine. He's a content machine. He's always live. You can rely on him to be live. Unlike me, I'm live as much as I can be, but it's not enough, not anything in compared. That's how you tell who the pros are, I think. Swifty's a pro. And who else has been live a lot? You guys watch, who else do you watch that plays WoW? Has Bajira been playing any WoW lately? I think about Bajira a lot because I talk to him every once in a while. Subscribe to his channel. We also did some work together, and he's used a lot of my work, and so we got to become friends. And he's another one that I respect because he pumps content, man, all the time. He's so dedicated to the art, to the craft, and so that's kind of like the old man perspective of like, who do I recognize as like great streamers out there, great streamers and great friends? It's really, I think, the people who are just so like dedicated to the art and dedicated to to the fans and to the viewers as well. People who treat the viewers in the chat with respect and recognize the people who have been there with them this entire time. That's something I recognize personally, and so I appreciate when other streamers recognize those things. And what I'm trying to say is the people who've been there for a long time, people have been involved and invested their time and invested themselves in your stream, or at least shared that experience with you over the years. There's nothing more awesome than that, I think. I think you guys are going to get some ads incoming. Sorry about that. I would stop the ads if I could. It's just Twitch. Twitch is just like a ad machine. Apparently they're broke or whatever, and they just have to run ads all the time because they don't have any money, and they're just trying to get advertisers to throw them a couple of dollars. We all understand, even though it's dumb. I think Twitch is a streaming platform, but Twitch doesn't think they're a streaming platform. We can only hope Twitch wants to be a streaming platform. Oh, Wow Hobbs, that's right. Wow Hobbs, he's another one. He's another awesome dude that I talk to every once in a while. I like to go into his chat and say hello. Wow Hobbs is an awesome dude, and don't even get me started. I could go on all day about all the cool things Wow Hobbs has done and how he has really supported me and a lot of other streamers. But instead of that, what I will say is Wow Hobbs' community is unmatched. He has a very, how would you say, sophisticated, very a very optimized, no, that's not the right word. I would say fine-tuned, optimized community. It's just very, what's the word? I'm just missing the word. Maybe we gotta pull out Psynaps AI and find some better words to describe how elegant, that's the word. It's an elegant community. All right. Didn't even have to use AI to talk. I think we're going to just have to use AI to talk one of these days. At least I am. I'll just speak for myself here. I think, but I don't use ChatGPT. I never have. I've never used it once. I build my own AI and use cutting edge models to build my own. And there's one right now that's pretty cutting edge, even though it's not the most cutting edge because AI moves so fast. Maybe last week, Scymetheus's AI model was cutting edge. This week, I would have to update it for it to be cutting edge because literally AI models are going so fast. Yeah, and WoW Hobbs, once he started Hearthstone, he was just like, he was so, just got super focused on it. Okay, so there's my WoW Mythic Plus rating, 2645. And it looks like my guild is starting to go into Mythics this week. They're up there on the little Raider.io guild weekly best, whatever that is. I'm up there. I did a 10 ruby earlier this week, so I'm up there in the top 4. I missed a 10. Those of you guys that do Mythic Plus, you could be like, oh well, I did a Mythic Plus 30 5 minutes ago. Yeah, somebody will be like going pretty hard. Just like there's so many streamers too, like streamers that I've worked with that they do viewer mythics and they'll be doing like high mythics. I'm like, how do you guys go into those mythics? Like, holy smokes, they go up pretty high. I'm over here just casual. I don't know what you call it. It's casual competitive, because casual to me is just like, let's do a quest line and watch some Blizzard cinematics. Like, that's casual to me. Competitive is like rank 1 gladiator, like rank 1, like crazy shit. That's competitive. So what's in the middle of that? So there's like casual competitive. I think that's where I'm at, where I have to compete. I have to have a rating, but I don't care if the rating is, I don't need to be top 10 in the world or something like that. I usually am like somewhere between top 10, top 5, or rank 1 on my server. So the last couple of seasons, I did rank 1, and then I think the next season I was like rank 2. Like, there's just some asshole who just decided to play WoW all day long, and I couldn't catch up to that guy because that guy was a nerd because he beat me. But usually it's like that. But it's nothing crazy. It's not like rank top 10 world or anything. No. No, this server is pretty chill. So people would laugh at me being rank 1 on this server, I feel like. This is Darkspear, by the way. Old school Darkspear. So Hobbs played on this server. So did Swifty. This was the server that Swifty played on when we were collabing with like Bajira and Athene, WoW Hobbs. Who are the other ones? There's so much. You guys will have to be as old as me to remember all the names. Mercator. Oh shoot, we're gonna get all nostalgic if we start talking about those guys, right? But that was an awesome time. Let's see what's going on here in the game. Look at this. Should we go get a satchel? I'll tank a satchel instead of healing. I'll tank it. Like right now, after these changes, I just looked at all the changes. I have a druid, so you can do caster DPS, melee DPS, tank, and healing. It's literally the most versatile class in the game, right? And I got a little bit hooked on it. I like that versatility because if I get bored healing, then I can go tank or I can go DPS. And by the way, I suck at all those things. I definitely heal the best out of all of them. But, just like most people who suck, I don't care that I suck. I just go in and do it anyway. Like typical sucking, pretty much.
Interrupt.
Oh, look, there's a little whelp right here. Get this guy. And then sometimes I miss interrupts. You'll see. Yeah, you'll see. Awkward. But also, I think I'm pretty geared that, you know, this is just like a dungeon finder. So I can take anything in the dungeon finder. Just like And I won't take any damage. These are like super easy.
Watch your step.
Like, I could just stand in the purple stuff. I found that out last night because I think I'm tanking for the first time this week. I just fixed my spec. Because, right, this week, Blizzard reset... Or was that last week? I don't know, I'm losing track. But Blizzard just reset all of the abilities and all the specs. So I had to respec everything anyway. So I was like, okay, I'm going to respec this. I took a look at... I don't know where you guys go to look at your... just look at, like, hints and stuff. But I'll go to Icy Veins, for example, and I'll just look at what the cookie cutter spec is like. I'll be like, okay, what's the Moonfire spec? What's the other spec? I don't even know what they're all called, but, you know, there'll be a few different flavors. And then I'll look and try to figure out which one fits my playstyle the best. And then I'll build off of that. You know, I might start with cookie cutter, and then I'll be like, okay, let's, like, adjust it for my playstyle. And that's what you want to do, because you can just use the cookie cutter. In fact, people will talk shit about the cookie cutter specs, but those cookie cutter specs are typically pretty optimized. As in, you can't really do much better than that. All right, they are highly optimized most times. Sometimes they're wrong. I mean, I've seen terrible cookie cutter specs, but they're pretty well optimized. They're like one size fits all. So you have to then ask yourself, like, how is my playstyle different? And how am I spec? Put a few points in something different. For tanking, I'm not really at the level where I'm thinking about the specs that much. I think I probably just copied that one. I'll look at every level, every tier, and I'll be like, yep. That makes sense. So I know what I'm doing, and then boom, just go with that. I don't even care. This guy's really hard, I think, with some groups. This boss is kind of nuts. I've seen groups completely choke on this guy. And what it is it's the mechanics. It's those purple things that just spawned. Everybody has to kind of figure out how to deal with those correctly. We didn't have to deal with them at all because he just died. There's no mechanics to worry about there. He's just dead. Good, I don't mind. Because we'll have to deal with that in high mythics for sure. I think next week is going to be tough on this boss, right? Because, what is this week? This week is fortified. So tyrannical, I think, is when that boss gets really hard. So that'll be next week. This week would be a good week to head into this dungeon. But I love that you guys mention WoW Hobbs. Like, that's just... I love giving a shout out to WoW Hobbs whenever possible. That means I'm going to have to go visit him now.
Interrupt.
He's up north. I usually pay pretty close attention to, like, where everybody is. And I didn't used to do that until I started doing, like, the stream technology. Because with stream tech, I always design the infrastructure for the streamers. So based on where they are or where they're going to be going, I'll actually look at maps, and I'll design infrastructure and stuff so that they have the perfect stream. That's kind of, I think, what I've been working on for so many years is the art and the science, the discipline of the perfect stream. That means a stream that doesn't F. That never Fs, is always on, and is essentially perfect. Anything less than perfection is a problem for me that I solve. Well, these guys want to jump. They want to skip right here. Can you skip here? I mean, we could try. See if they die.
Interrupt.
Oh no, they didn't jump. Wait.
Watch your step.
Oh no. What's happening? They pulled something. Am I in combat? No, I'm not in combat. We might have like messed that up. But the healer's here. You know, I like doing that skip personally, but maybe what I didn't realize was that the others might not know about it, so they might get confused about it. But it's a good skip. Like, I like the skip. But just like to be considerate to the people that joining this group that don't know about it, probably a little bit rude to do the skip for people that don't know. Oh, and another problem is like I think the skip is good, but a potential problem with it is if we might have missed something that the other guys might have wanted and we skipped it, that would suck for them. But right now, what I'm doing is I'm getting a satchel, so we just have to finish. And I'll finish fast. That's all we need, really. There's a little bug here. Sorry about the sound. This boss makes a new sound this week that it didn't make last week. It's a little like, but he'll stop doing that. You just have to pull these mobs right here and then that
Watch your step.
Yeah, I'll pull them all. Doesn't matter. I just pull them all. I'm just like talking and hanging out. I can be pulling this entire dungeon probably, and probably without a healer too.
Interrupt. Watch your step. Watch your step.
Can I tell you about something that I did the other day?
Watch your
something
step.
that I got. It's kind of funny and silly. Okay, well, check it out. See, now he stops making that obnoxious sound. And I think it's a WoW glitch because, first of all, the boss didn't make that sound before, or at least it wasn't so loud. And you can't fix it. If you go into your settings and try to turn down like the ambient sound, it doesn't respond. So it's like the sound channel got mixed up or something. But anyway, here's what I did the other day that I'm pretty amused about. I got an e-bike. So I always wanted to get an e-bike, but I didn't get one because I was like, I don't really ride bikes too much, and I don't think there's really even really great places to ride a bike around where I live, unfortunately. It's just a really weird city. It just doesn't have very many bike routes. At least the bike people who love biking and walking, they're always talking shit. They're like, oh, this city doesn't have enough places to ride. And it's true. So I thought, okay, I'm probably not going to get an e-bike. But then I got one, and I love it. It's kind of funny. I'm just like zooming down the road. You know, electric mode. It's pretty legit. And like people of all ages have e-bikes. Like I thought maybe it's like an old man thing to do to have an e-bike. You know, because it just pretty much drives itself. See a bunch of YouTubers and these old guys running around on their e-bikes. I'm like, oh man, this is like you have to be a tool, you know, to be riding your e-bike around all the time. But that's not true. That was just like my first impression. I was just being a jerk with my first impression. And so I thought, wait, what's this guy's doing? I thought, okay, I'm probably not going to do it. It's just something I want to do. So I did it. It was great. And you know what else I wanted to do? I wanted to have my drone follow me on my e-bike. So I don't know if you remember this. I don't think people really do it that much anymore, but when e-bikes first started getting popular, all the YouTubers that reviewed like e-bikes and drones, and it's kind of like tech YouTuber channels, they were all doing the same exact thing. I noticed they were all like getting their drone to follow their e-bikes, and I was like, look at these tools. Like, what do the neighbors think of these guys running up and down the road all day long with the drone following them back and forth, right? And I thought that was kind of funny and silly, but I always secretly wanted to do it. So guess what? The first thing I did with my e-bike was I put the drone in follow mode, and I had the drone following me up and down the road on the e-bike. It's like complete bliss for a nerd. So if you haven't tried it, you know, may as well give it a run, give it a go. On the plus side, you know, it's not just about being a nerd and having your drone follow you on your e-bike. You know, people like really rely on e-bikes, I think, just to get from place to place because they're just so convenient and they're fast too. One thing that's crazy about e-bikes is you can cover so much ground on an e-bike, way more than you could without the electric motor assistance. So you got to get like an e-bike that's pretty fast. It's not too clunky. One that has a long range. And you might be thinking, oh, well, this sounds like it's going to cost a lot of money, Psynaps. Who's going to pay for my e-bike? Are you? No, I'm not going to buy you an e-bike, but nobody bought me an e-bike. But the good news is it doesn't have to be super expensive. I found a pretty cheap one on Amazon. That's really good. I can link it. You know, I'll pull out that affiliate link. That's probably your first thought. Everybody's like, oh, Psynaps is just about to plug his fucking affiliate link in a second, talking about all these e-bikes. No, that wasn't why I brought up e-bikes. And yes, I do have an affiliate link. Not one for an e-bike, but I can make one in like 3 seconds.
Run out.
It's kind of funny.
Watch your feet.
Look at this moonfire. That's why I love druids.
Find
Moonfire
shelter.
all day. Come on, guys. Gotta hide. Oh, you want to go this one? Suit yourself.
Watch your feet. Watch your feet. Watch your feet.
I was gonna take him to the other one, but whatever.
Run out.
Yo, Farstad! Doing Mythic Plus? No, this is just,
Watch your feet.
I just started, so I just came into
Watch your
a
feet.
what's it called? I just queued up for like regular heroic because the UI was offering me a satchel. So I said, hey, let's go grab a couple of satchels and then we'll go into Mythic Plus. We can do whatever Mythic Plus. I don't think I can do higher than 12. I don't know though. I don't know what the highest I can do is, but I've been doing 10s and they've been super easy. Unless the group like mega sucks, then they're not as easy. But gear level wise and like, you know, my gear's like at 10 easy. So that means I could probably push 12 or 13. You guys, you experts can tell me how high I can go. If 10s are easy, that might mean I could go higher, or maybe a 12 will surprise me. I don't know. But this season, I just started doing Mythic Plus this season, so I'm super late.
Defensive.
But I think I played so many Mythic Pluses last season that I needed a little bit longer of a break between seasons. I played way too many last season. And so I took a break, and it was nice. And so now I'm back on the grind in Mythic Plus. Well, that was easy. Did I even take any damage? So here's what you got to do. I'll show you my eye level. I'll show you my gear. Let me get out of this dungeon. And also let me give you a suggestion about these heroics. You know, if you queue heroics or if you queue, what are they called? Time walking. If you're a healer, because I'm always a healer, just queue as a healer and then spec DPS. Like, you don't have to heal in these 5-mans. Even for the players who are at that lower level and they're just gearing, you know, I think everything kind of scales for them. Don't worry about having to heal. You shouldn't really need to heal in any of those 5-mans. You can just, and it makes them so much fun and they go so fast. Just queue as a healer, and you could probably do this too if you guys play DPS and you want to experiment with this and you like really have no intention of healing, you just want to DPS. Queue as a healer, you get an instant Q pop. Don't do this if it makes your team mad. If your team gets mad, then okay, don't be a jerk, you know, don't be like an asshole, because other people are also trying to have fun too in a group. But just try this and see if it works. And then you just spec DPS, queue as a healer, and just go fast. Like your DPS, like by the time the mechanics start to happen on the boss fights, by the time you would actually need to heal otherwise, you don't have to heal because you kill the boss so fast. You just burn him down. It's not the way it's meant to be played, but at these levels, I think these Dungeon Finder 5-mans, and you don't have to agree with that advice. There might be somebody sitting in their chair right now like, oh, Psynaps, that's terrible advice. That really like changes the game for other people who are trying to play it the right way and who want to experience the mechanics. Yes, there's no doubt about that. But when you actually go and queue these, you'll find that the bosses just don't go into those phases anyway because, you know, it's kind of a farm mode. And honestly, I don't really think anybody minds too, because if you're goal oriented, if your goal is to get gear because you're low gear and you're trying to get gear, like you're a lower level maybe, and you're just like leveling up or getting gear, you don't mind if a bunch of hotshots come in and carry you and just all the bosses just steal all their gear, right? That's okay. That's like a meme. Everybody knows that's true. Or if your goal is to do what I just did to get a satchel, you know, the bosses just spill the satchels, then you know you can just go through it fast and it doesn't matter. And then when you really want to experience the content, well then maybe go to Mythic Plus, because in Mythic Plus, then yeah, you're going to see all the phases of the boss fight. It's not going to just be, you know, you're going to have to actually play, I think, a little bit. At least that's what I have to do, because when I go into these higher mythics, man, oof, I have to make up for all my own mistakes and many times make up for everyone else's mistakes too as the healer, because when they make mistakes, then I end up having to use cooldowns on them and use more mana. And so, you know, it's like you kind of have to, everybody kind of has to make up for each other's mistakes in a way at some point. And I like that. I love that. That's team play. That's team play. Some people don't want to carry. Just have the attitude of working together. If you have to carry, then carry, because somebody might actually carry you one time. And so you can carry, you can pay it forward. So what level of Mythic do you want me to do? Mythic plus 20? No, you don't. You don't want to see it. Nobody's going to invite me for a high Mythic anyway, because my item level is like, what is it? 521? So I think at this point in the season, I think 521 was probably an item level that you would have earlier in the season for most people, or maybe even on an alt. But I'm pretty comfortable with that item level. I can play anything in the game with that item level. I can go into raids. I can go into some Mythic Plus. So it's not too bad. And I think I've got a set bonus too here. There's a 528 chess piece I have a little bit pimped out. With a 5 set bonus? Okay, I went a little overboard there. I probably don't need 5, but I don't think I had a better option yet on any of those pieces. So it just kind of, you know, those set pieces just kind of fell into those slots. But yeah, I would definitely like to see some upgrades. And then for the trinkets, at least for healing, I think I'm wearing my healing trinkets here as a tank. That's funny and totally works. You could just, I want to point that out, because I don't want people to think you can't do that. I don't want somebody to be sitting there thinking, oh, Psynaps, you have healing trinkets on, or you know, those trinkets are not optimized for tanking. You know, they're not just healing trinkets. I mean, they can be used for anything, but for a lot of different stuff. But they're certainly not tanking trinkets, that's for sure. And somebody might like be hesitant to go into a dungeon because they think, oh, they don't want to tank it because they think they don't have the right trinkets. But it will work. So this one right here actually has this whispering incarnate icon. This was pretty well appreciated in online. Like, this is a highly suggested, like a tier A or something trinket. It also, you know, when you're a tank, it gives you agility, and when I switch to healer, it gives me intellect. So it's a pretty flexible trinket. So trinkets like that, you can, you know, I can play any spec with those kinds of trinkets. That's pretty cool. So pre-patch buffed a few classes. You know what? I think Druid did get a buff. Let me show you what I think was a pretty good buff. And I think there's some agreement on this. Blizz kind of nerfed Resto Druids and then went and buffed them. So I can't really speak too much for the buffs for tank and stuff because I haven't really researched it too much. I don't think it changed a whole lot, just a few things here and there. But and I'm not tanking high level, so I don't really feel the need to like optimize because like everything I tank is just so easy. It's just like it doesn't matter what I spec. Probably I could run any spec and it'll work. But for healing the higher mythics, it does matter. I mean, it matters a lot because you have to spec right, and then you have to play those abilities right. You have to know how they work. You have to understand the mechanics, and then you actually have to utilize them, or you'll fall behind. And guess what happens when a healer falls behind? I don't have to say what happens. Bad things happen. Healers falling behind is something no healer wants to do. And in fact, that's why a lot of people don't heal, because that feeling of falling behind, oh, it's like trying to run in the mud. Have you ever had a bad dream where it feels like you're trying to run, but like it's like you're underwater? Have you ever had that? I've had that before, and I remember having a dream like that where it felt like I was trying to run in sludge. I wasn't running away from anything or anything. I was just trying to travel, just trying to be mobile, and I couldn't. Everything was slow, like I was underwater, and that's how it feels. That's the feeling you get when you fall behind when you're healing, and it's a terrible feeling. You don't want it. So people will just choose not to heal. So how do you avoid getting that feeling and staying ahead and not falling behind? Pretty easy, actually. You just have to know your abilities really well and keep everything, on cooldown and just play your class, basically. And playing your classes means you got to learn how these little things work. But the buff that I thought was buffed was Druid. Resto Druid got two things. They got this Prosperity, which gives you 2 Swift Mends. Swift Mend is an instant heal. A big heal, too. It's almost like a lay on hands sometimes. And they gave us a second one. And then of course, with Druid, everything kind of plays into the mastery. All the abilities kind of work together. You got to put a lot of hots. The more hots you put on, the more effect your mastery has. And so you want to have everything all nice and hotted up. And that Swiftman plays into that mastery and is delivering some very significant heals. And then it also kind of plays into this Incarnation. You know what Incarnation does? Check this guy out right here. So as you pop, if you pop 3 of those Swiftmans, no, Blizzard now gives us 2 for free. But when you hit it on the 3rd time, you get this guy. Bam! The tree. You know what he does? He does a lot of heals. This guy is like... Everyone lives when this guy comes out. This is the you live button. So this guy will just pop out automatically with a Swiftum. So that's why that one was a big buff. And then, where'd it go? My abilities. Look at my tree. My tree's so large. Look how large and bold and stiff he is. It's very strong wood. Very large, very stiff wood on that tree right there. High quality. Very high quality wood. If I may comment on that. So, let's go back to this. The other one that was really good was Thriving Vegetation. So, Rejuve is a little hill. It's not a little hill. It's actually a pretty big hill. It's very important. But Rejuve is like this little hot that you put on. I'll put one on me. This is going to click it. This Rejuve right here. So I got this little thing. It makes a little sound. And if you look at my bar up there, it's just giving me these small heals. They're relatively small heals on an interval. And so those add up a lot. But in the previous seasons, healers, Resto Druids didn't really acknowledge Swiftmen. It just wasn't, it's part of the master, Rejuve. It's part of the mastery, so you're always using it. But you don't depend on it. Like, you kind of almost ignore it, and you don't spec in anything that empowers rejuvenation for Mythic Plus. It was kind of like this forgotten spell, almost. Hey, the Gold Queen is here! I was just talking about some of the changes that Blizzard made for the pre-patch, which was like just this week. These are like new. People are still frustrated about some of these changes, I think, because it's so new. They reset all of the things. So yeah, just catching you up to what we were talking about a little bit. And then I was mentioning what I thought were the best changes that they made for Resto Druid, because it seems that some classes benefited more from some of these changes than other classes. Some people are complaining. I complained, and I still will complain. I always complain every time they reset the talents. I'm like, Blizzard, And then I was fussy a little bit. I was saying, oh, Blizzard, it's like Blizzard behaves like they own this game or something, just resetting all my talents like that, and I was a bit appalled and, upset about it. But then as I, I had to go and look to see, what happened. And I discovered that these two abilities that they added here are pretty cool. And this Thriving Vegetation, they wanted to kind of take away Rejuve last time, and they brought it back. And now you're kind of focusing on this a little bit because it changes the way it heals the person. It gives them more upfront healing. And it's also lasting a little bit longer. And then what was the other thing that it did? It did something else. I think there was something else in here that made you want to pay a little more attention and use more Rejuves. So that's good because, if Rejuve could... I think Blizzard is careful with Rejuve because it could potentially be very OP, because it's kind of a passive thing. You put hots, you send out your hots, and then you just let them work, and they just go. And you don't really have to do anything. You don't have to think about it. And if they're too powerful, then then it's just OP, right? But, the brush, I don't have the brush animation on, I guess. Oh, shoot. But Gold Queen, what's up? What's new? I saw you in Discord, told me to stream, and well, look how long it took me to actually go live. It took quite a while, but here we are. So I think I have it in my OBS somewhere. The brush, it's there. I don't even know if it's. Oh, it's there. Oh, it's there. Wow. Oh, look how good looking I am there in that lighting. I need to find out what lights I was using. I think that's my old house. So that's a long time ago. That's when my hair was like really long. Right now it's not as long. I shaved it underneath, but it is getting longer. And the bamboo brush too. I love that bamboo brush. That bamboo brush is not mine. I hijacked it to comb my hair. My hair's looking extra fluffy. Put a little extra conditioner in there. I use a shampoo and conditioner, but not all in one. I used to. I think at the time of the brushing video, I think I may have been using a all-in-one shampoo conditioner, because boys can do stuff like that. Girls can too, but now I have two of them. One is a shampoo and one is a conditioner, and I like to mix my conditioner in with my shampoo very strategically. I don't do one or the other. I do them both. I just change the concentration of each one as I apply them. Not that anybody asked about my shampoo or conditioner. I just thought I would share. Baby Psynaps? I don't think so. Unless I'm just old now. I've always been old. I was just younger when I was younger. That makes sense, right? Wow. Wow. Wow, that's good. Let's go to another mythic, I say. Which one should we do? You can search for certain mythics, like going 6-10. So I'll get mythics between 6 and 10. Thank you for that, Blizzard. And what about the AI stuff? Is there any updates on AI? Last time we had a lot of updates on AI because I was working on some of these self-hosted, like a distributed self-hosted AI system, which is working great and is crazy. The AI updates are going so fast that I don't even I was excited every other day to update and try new AI systems, models, platforms, and now the updates have gotten so frequent that I'm experiencing some kind of like, what would you call it? Like exhaustion, like fatigue. It's like AI fatigue. Now it's like, oh, a new model came out. Oh, okay, I'll try that someday. And then by the time you actually think about trying it, 10 new models have come out. So the self-hosted game is just crazy right now. And I love all these new models coming out. We just have to find a good use case for it. The problem with some of these AI systems, whether it's sound, visual, language, you know, text or whatever, I feel like we have a very narrow like goal when it comes to how we use them. So I'm still looking for like a super creative way to use all these things. And then there's quantum computing. Quantum computing is kind of something that I'm getting involved in professionally, which is interesting. I've been talking to some science groups and some industry groups on quantum technology. And what a strange and interesting industry. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the industry in so many different ways, scientifically, industry wise, like what products, like, are we selling quantum stuff? Like, are we buying that stuff? You know, is it important? What are we going to do with it? Does it even work? And then how does it work? All right. When you start asking questions like this, then the physicist will come in and, you know, pretend like they know everything about quantum physics and quantum mechanics and stuff. But that one is just like kind of mind blowing. I was watching like Neil deGrasse the other day on a show, and he was talking about quantum compute, and it was on it's a very high level discussion, and you can't have high level discussions about quantum compute because it just sounds like a bunch of BS at a high level. And so we've got to really dig into that one. And so I'm thinking that we have to use quantum computing with AI because AI is lame without it, I think. So that's, I guess, where we're heading. Can somebody help me like build, you know, a quantum computer that we can actually use? Would you guys like to help me do that? Because I saw Google's like disaster of a quantum machine and looked very dumb. Looked cool. I mean, some people think it's cool, but you know, I'm not so easy to impress. I thought it looked pretty. Wait a minute. Here's a +6 that says free beer. I'm signing up for that right now. This group is offering free beer. How are they going to give me free beer? They better give me beer. They better give me beer. If that guy does not hand me a beer when I get in there, I am going to make fun of him online, on the internet, in front of everyone, and embarrass him. Okay, let's see if we get this beer. Hey there, I came for the beer. Hey, Wolfric is here. Oh, that's cool. Gold Queen says, who's leading quantum computing? Yeah, IBM and Google. You gotta make good on the beer, man. They're trying not to give me beer now. Like, I came for the beer. Remember, it said +6 free beer. And so I joined. And this guy says he's the beer. Oh, does that mean what I think it means? Or just like maybe like a miscommunication there? I got a 12-pack over here. Okay, on my way. I mean, if you say free beer, I will come for free beer, but you can't trick me. You can't like get me to go there and then not have free beer. That's a violation, of course. Maybe he is the bear. I don't want to drink what he's fermenting. Let's just put it that way. Okay. I mean, I'll take a Budweiser. Okay, I'm not hard to please, but it's got to be like, you know, a real beer. But Wolfric, what are you up to today? And do you have a quantum computer that I could play with? It's my understanding that for quantum, we're going to have to think a lot differently about how we program for quantum. So it's tough to imagine, I think, because our minds are working with, you know, the way transistors work and the way we program for computers right now. We have to think a little bit differently about these things in order to make quantum computers do the stuff we want them to do. And that's going to be a hard one. I bet a lot of people can't hang with quantum. So if you can hang, I think you might do pretty well. We're going to check that out. It's something I might be thinking about. I like this dungeon. This is probably one of my favorite Mythic Plus dungeons. It didn't always used to be that way. Actually, I think a lot of people hated this one at first because the tree boss was super hard. Now, I don't know if they nerfed the tree boss or if people have just gotten better at it. But I noticed that the tree boss is like so easy now. Like it's one of the easiest bosses. They might have nerfed it. It seems like they did, but the mechanics seem the same. Maybe they just nerfed damage or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, and it is possible too that we just got better at it. You know, it might just seem easier now because everyone knows what to expect. I don't know.
Watch your step.
Oh wait, what? We lusted? Oh, okay. Oh, look.
Watch your step.
People are getting hit pretty hard. I'm gonna stand in my own green circle.
Help spirit.
Look at that. I'm standing in my own circle way back here instead of moving it over.
Watch your
okay,
step.
I'll move it over here. Tank doesn't need it though. It's fine.
Watch your step.
No one else is going to stand in my green circle, so I'll just stand in it. The resto druids are always like, that's the biggest struggle. It's like, that green circle is so OP.
3.
It does so much heals in it.
1.
It
Watch your
factors
step.
into all the other heals. It's so OP. And then no one will stand in it. Like, I've literally seen a warlock. I'll cast the green circle, like, on the warlock.
Watch your step.
And then the warlock will just step out of it the second I put it there. Just like one step out. It'll just stay out. And I'm like, fuck. But the thing about the circle too is it's a little bit expensive because it's so OP and it does so much heals. It's kind of like this big AoE, all-encompassing resto druid ability. It's expensive. So when you cast it and then someone steps out of it, it's a little bit of a bummer. What the heck is that thing?
3.
Did somebody put a
2. 1.
Help spirit.
Somebody put a toy right on the boss? That's funny. Okay, here's what you do. You stack on the tank. And fireworks are coming out. How did he plant that toy there? He must have put it there right before we went into combat. But you stack
Watch
on him
your
like
step.
this, and then when the things on the ground come, you rotate clockwise like this. And everybody does it in synchrony. And then that's all you do.
Watch your step.
2. 1.
Big ad. Help spirit.
And then just do it again. Wolfric says you start with something very much like Python for quantum. I wonder what something like Python would be, and also, that's good news because
Watch your step.
that sounds like
AOE
good news.
incoming.
3. 2.
I'll do more
1.
DPS. Normally when I'm
spirit.
not streaming, I do a lot more DPS. I've been working on like just spending a lot more time DPSing, although there are consequences to
Watch
trying
your
to
step.
DPS. As a healer, if you're DPSing, you're not healing. And so
Watch your step.
3, 2,
Big
1.
Ad. Help spirit.
as you can imagine, that can have devastating consequences.
Watch your step. AOE incoming.
I was talking about how everybody kind of like has figured out
3,
this fight. That's not
2,
true for this
1.
group.
Help
None
spirit.
of these guys did this part right. It's the first time I've seen people be so bad at it. Usually people have been pretty tight, but I have been doing higher levels too.
Watch your step.
Oh boy. I like how the tank had 55 stacks.
Watch your step.
3, 2,
Big Ad.
1.
Help spirit.
I have to dispel those spirits. But yeah, you know, this quantum computing, it's really just philosophy right now.
Watch your step.
I think. And so what we have to do is we
AOE
have to
incoming.
make it practical.
3, 2, 1.
Help spirit.
And one of the physicists, you know, it's funny because one of the physicists that's kind of an expert in quantum physics and quantum mechanics and kind of has been vocal about quantum computing has said, like, that's how we're gonna, like, quantum computing is gonna, like, reveal the origin of the universe and the origin of life, and it's basically gonna solve
Watch
everything.
your step.
And it's going to let us travel through space and time
Run.
across the universe instantly, and we're going to learn where our universe came from and maybe find other universes and multiverses too. They
Watch
start
your
talking
step.
all this crazy shit. And I get a little bit upset when the physicists
3,
start doing that
2,
kind of stuff, because
1.
nobody deals with multiverses
Watch your step.
in reality. So it's confusing when a scientist who's a physicist who's supposed to be grounded in reality is
Run.
talking about science fiction. But I want to be working on
Watch your step.
differentiating between those things, fiction and fact.
3,
Watch your
2,
step.
1.
Help spirit.
Look at this guy. Oh, you
Run.
got dispelled. Nice. I mean, technically in this low level, I don't think you have to dispel those.
Watch your step.
Actually, you probably do, because some of those guys did die earlier. So, like that guy Liplock, he is taking damage. So if we don't dispel those, he would probably die there. But I don't think you really have to bother with the FX too much on these lower levels. Warfix says IBM and Google's quantum programming tools are based on Python. Yeah, that'll be an interesting thing, because I haven't tried programming, haven't really looked at the language that people are using, but quantum is so new. I bet we're gonna find that obviously we have to think about programming differently for these new quantum systems. So new languages and probably new approaches are going to be adopted, and we probably don't even know what those things are yet. So this is one of these opportunities to get on the ground floor
3,
of this research
2, 1.
Help spirit.
and start to kind of discover and tease out what changes are going to be needed. I think we can talk about those things, but doing and talking are some of the things I want to address. Like, I want to do, not so much talk. I see the physicists talking a lot about the origins of the universe and how our universe is like a bubble that just bubbled off of some other underlying thing to wherever
2,
our universe came from.
Shockwave.
And
Help
that there's
spirit.
different things other than what we think of as our universe now, where our universe may have came from. And I'm thinking to myself, did you run out of papers to publish on this universe? Or are we going Marvel? Are we making a movie? It's gonna be the next Spider-Man.
Shockwave.
So I want to get people I don't want to prevent people from going out into space, but I also want to bring people back down to Earth.
2, 1.
Help spirit.
Quantum is happening here on Earth. It's also happening in our brain, in our body, in biology, and nature is, made up of these quantum processes, quantum mechanics. So we don't have to go to the origin of the universe in order to discover the meaning of the universe. I think we can do it right here on Earth
3, 2,
without floating
1.
off into
Help
space
spirit.
a little bit too
Shockwave.
much. I'm going to try to be very practical about this.
Shockwave.
No one's going to cheer for me being practical and boring.
Shockwave.
People cheer for the physicist who's like, our universe is a bubble.
Shockwave.
And
3,
whatever the
2,
universe came from is a
1.
bubble bath.
Help
And everyone's like,
spirit.
yay, that's a crazy idea. That's crazy. Wow. I'm thinking to myself, whoa there.
Shockwave.
There, buddy. Get a hold of yourself. No one knows what
Shockwave.
you're talking about. A little bit of a stretch. See, when I got my PhD, my advisors, who I picked, were some of the most prestigious advisors. I picked the hardest
Shockwave.
ones that I could,
3, 2,
and even ones
Shockwave.
that no
Help
other
spirit.
students could get. And I did that because I wanted a good education. You know what they told me? They told me not to make these huge leaps. That scientifically, when you're making hypotheses,
Shockwave.
you're making statements, and when you are talking about science, you can't make these huge leaps of assumptions that don't have data to back it up. So science is kind of a stepwise process. You have one hypothesis that leads to another. You keep answering questions, and you keep answering questions, but you can't make conclusions too many steps ahead. You have to get the data, and you have to have proof first before you just start making these wild assumptions. So in theory, I mean, you can theorize and you can have an imagination. Science is about being creative and having an imagination and thinking outside of the box. But you can't go too far. I feel like that's happening a little bit in quantum. We're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. So how can we pull back? And so I started talking with this microscopy company who's using some quantum technologies and to analyze magnetic fields, micromagnetic fields. And I want to help them with that, and also make sure that obviously that they can stream their
2,
data
1.
Help spirit.
out to other
Spread.
scientists. And I think they're getting mad at some of these guys for not
Shockwave.
dispelling. So I'm gonna try to help them dispel. I mean, I can dispel both. That is not the common way to do things. Like, I'm not supposed to have to dispel both of the affixes.
Phase change. Spread.
Usually I can dispel one.
3,
Sometimes other
2,
classes are much
1.
more
Help spirit.
equipped to dispel them, maybe even multiple at the same time. But for me as a
Shockwave.
druid, to have to do two of them is a little much to ask, but I can do it. It is possible to do. It's not an optimal thing to do. You wouldn't want to ask
Spread.
anyone in your group to have to
Watch
do
your step.
both, because it's just you're just like punishing the group by doing that in a way.
3,
But it doesn't matter. This
2,
is a 6. We're gonna
1.
beat this. We're gonna time this whether people dispel them or not. So I don't want people to get too
Shockwave.
worked up about it. If this were like a plus 10 plus and people weren't dispelling them,
Spread.
then we would see some burstiness that would
Phase
probably
change.
bite us in the ass. But here, no.
Three, two, 1.
I want to run it in. I want to run it in, coach. Woo! Got it.
Shockwave.
Count on me, coach.
Spread.
Oh, we got some whirlwinds. Got some whirlwinds. Well, watch out for those. If I run over one of these, then I'll be okay.
3, 2.
Oh, you know what I haven't really done
Love
in this
spirit.
dungeon, just because it hasn't really been needed too much, is kitty DPS. So the new
Spread.
specs seem to have buffed. It seems at least that kitty DPS might have got a little buffed, which is great. As a resto druid, I used to not like switching into kitty. I kind of thought it was like
3,
you know,
2,
taking up too many
1.
global
Help
cooldowns
spirit.
to just kind of switch back and forth. But in fact, it's generating mana for me. So if you find if you're getting used to switching into kitty form to DPS as a resto druid, and you kind of are getting good at that, you can potentially recover a lot of mana and contribute meaningful DPS to the group. But druids just don't do that much DPS anyway. So even if I sat there just hammering my keyboard as much as I could on DPS, it's not going to be a whole lot of DPS, but it's going to be millions of DPS. So it is something, just not much. What's up? What are you doing? I'm live, by the way.
I know.
3, 2, 1.
I'm gonna order food because Instacart does restaurants now and it's permit for the restaurant.
Oh, wait, who does?
Instacart now.
Instacart wants to bring us
Shockwave.
food, is what Ms. Synapse is
They do
saying.
restaurants.
Instacart's trying to bring us food.
Anyways, we're gonna do BJ's. Do you want a chicken sandwich or would you like their Philly?
Their Philly? Did I eat their Philly?
No, but John got it one time and you were like,
Shockwave.
"That's great.
Yeah, give me that.
Get the Philly."
3,
Yeah, I'll try
2, 1.
Help spirit.
So basically what just happened was Instacart wants to bring me
Shockwave.
BJ's and they want to bring me a Philly cheesesteak. So how can I say no to that? Is this connected to the free beer?
Shockwave.
No, they've tricked me. So wait, are you saying, Gold Queen,
3,
that this
2,
food might be a
1.
trick? Because remember, that
spirit.
beer situation, that was a trick. They tricked me. They told me that it was a +6 free beer if a healer or a tank, and I joined, and the tank joined instantly when they said free beer. We came for the beer, and then when we got here to this dungeon, there was no beer. Like, that is so rude. That is so rude. Did I expect beer? Yes, I did. And you know what? In the game, they could have just like given me a beer. You know, like there is beer in the game. Like, you know, you can
3,
make a little keg. Like
2,
it's even a little toy,
1.
like a little keg toy for beer. Did they even drop the toy keg? No, they didn't even give me pretend beer. They could have given me pretend beer. So that was a real, like, you know. And they're happy too. After I joined, they're like, hey, it worked. Now let's go do the dungeon. Like, it worked. They tricked me, and then they were happy about tricking me. That is, I gotta say, some people's kids. We gotta help people, guys. We gotta help them. If they were clever, they would have gave me a
3,
toy keg.
2,
But they weren't even clever.
1.
They're just
Shockwave.
liars.
Help
Just
spirit.
liars. I wanted to do a dungeon anyway. It's not like, you know. I mean, I knew that they might not be as creative as me. I knew that they may not be
Shockwave.
going into it. So it's okay. But I'm still disappointed. Oh, hello there. I'm talking to the live stream. The baby hears me talking, but he
3,
doesn't know who I'm talking
2,
to.
Shockwave.
1.
Help spirit.
Oh, shoot! I just stood in that, but I lived. Free beer, Philly steak. So yeah, I'm a little bit suspicious. Thank you for
Shockwave.
looking out for me, Gold Queen. Thanks for the lookout. Gonna make sure I'm not getting tricked on that Philly. could happen. You never know. This world is very dynamic.
3,
Shockwave.
2,
Anything can happen.
1.
Help spirit. Shockwave.
You guys watch the Olympics? You watch the what's it called? Opening ceremony. That's what it's called. Paris, France. French. Oui, oui,
3,
oui.
2, 1.
Help spirit.
I saw President Macron. I said that right. He was there today. Ooh, my haste went down after those fixes popped. Let me go kitties, do some
3,
deeps.
2, 1.
Help spirit.
You see that? See that stun I did right there? That was not a suggested cookie cutter spec to be able to do incapacitating roar. That's something I like to spec. I like roar. Oh look, that guy put out another one of those things. He wants to tank. Maybe that's good luck for him. Maybe the tank likes putting this thing, whatever that is, right on the boss to tank. It's like a good luck trinket on me.
Three, two, one.
Help spirit.
I'll take one of these. And one of those. Ah! That probably would have one-shot me. I see, what else is good over here? There's nothing else to do, I'll just DPS. Hello, big guy. Can you see me?
3, 2.
What should the little babies
Help
be?
spirit.
He's like, there's future
AOE
rank one,
incoming.
there's baby
Watch
rank
your
one,
step.
and then there's like baby rank one. There's like a little tiny one running around.
Run
I don't
out.
know where all these babies come from. They're just always popping out. Where do babies come from? I don't know. They just keep appearing.
3, 2, 1.
Help spirit.
Don't you die on me.
AOE incoming. Watch your step.
Oh, are you getting lag, Gold Queen? I don't know. I'll try looking. I'm watching the Twitch preview right now. I don't see
3, 2, 1.
I don't see lag on my playback, but it
Run
could be
out.
happening because I have my GPU fully maxed out right now, like full VRAM all the way. If my computer crashed, then oh, you know, one thing you can try is switch the resolution. I've seen this bug on Twitch before. Switch the resolution to 720 and then switch it to back to 1080. Or like switch it down to something low and then put it on auto. And I don't know if what you're
3,
experiencing is that
2,
bug that I'm
1.
thinking of,
Help
but I've
spirit.
seen that bug before. And so it'd be interesting if that's what you're seeing. Yeah, try using the quality pull down. It seems to only happen on quality pull down if it's the same bug. And then
3,
switch manually to a
2,
low
1.
resolution and then switch it back up to full resolution or auto. And then it should stay fixed like forever after that if you leave it on auto. for me, I'm watching like, I've got my preview like on 480 or something, and it's so far full smooth for the last couple of moments I've been observing it. And how's OBS doing? OBS looks okay. OBS is streaming at 8,000 kbps, 256 AAC, that's the audio. I'd like to give a little extra on AAC. You know, some audio engineers will say that you can't perceive the difference between 160 kbps and 256 kbps. But those audio engineers are obviously deaf, because nobody would want to stream at 160 kbps. And I do think that some people can perceive the difference between those two. I've even felt like I could sometimes, depending on what the dynamics look like. I think there's certain kind of audio, like certain music and certain combination of complex sounds that lower AAC bit rates just don't accommodate very well. So you do got to put a little extra. And then finally, there is a scientific mathematical justification for using higher audio bit rates, specifically when it comes to AAC, which is what Twitch uses. And that is, you get less re-encoding artifacts when using higher bit rates. And do we re-encode? Yes, we do. Even the quality pull down itself is a re-encode, or if you post a VOD later to YouTube, that's another re-encode. So you get these multiple re-encodes. And if you start off with a low quality audio, when it gets re-encoded later, it's going to be awful. It's going to be very, very bad. So we send a high audio bit rate as the kind of original primary feed to Twitch. And so once it gets into the Twitch machine and it starts getting compressed and doing all the things that happen to it,
Help Spirit.
You know, after it's out of your house, then you can benefit from those higher bit rates. So there's like a subjective, multiple subjective reasons for it, and it's mathematically justified as well. So for all those audio engineers out there who think low bitrate audio is cool, or maybe there's some even neuroscientists who say, oh, well, you can't perceive the differences, you know, some data neuroscientists, I will say, why don't you put a sock in your mouth and start listening to me instead of talking so much.
Help Spirit. Breath incoming.
That's funny, right? It's like telling an audio engineer to listen to you. Should be funny. Calling an audio engineer deaf is very offensive. But remember, I'm an equal opportunity asshole. Like, I'm not going to be more of an asshole to audio engineers. I'm going to be equally asshole-ish to audio engineers and physicists.
2, 1.
Help Spirit.
It's nothing personal. It's just equality.
Breath incoming.
And you know what is the benefit of being tough on professionals, on experts? The benefit is prestige and excellence.
3.
So you can't.
2, 1.
You can't.
Help Spirit.
You have to stay frosty. You have to be critical a little bit, and that's what academics train
Breath
to
incoming.
be. You know, in academia, in science, at least a higher level. You don't say, "Oh, good job. You did everything right." No, you do, like at a seminar or something, like when you're celebrating someone's accomplishments, a good prestigious scientist or something, and you've invited them to speak at your venue, then you praise them. But once the venue is over and we go back to the prestige and excellence of research and innovation, we don't say good job anymore. We say, you know, look what's missing. Look what you did wrong. Look what you have to fix. And we poke holes in things. And that's part of excellence and prestige. So if I ever talk shit about a physicist, it's because it's with the expectation that the physicists will become better, be better at what they do, and not, lazy. Oh, yay, look what happened. Exposed Villain came in, was very polite and wants to promote my channel. Thank you. The price is lower than any competitor. The quality is guaranteed to be the best. Flexible and convenient order management panel, chat panel, everything in your hands. A huge number of custom settings. Oh. I don't know. I was really excited about it when... I was excited at first, but then as the text went on, it was kind of less exciting. Yeah. See, the thing is, Exposed Villain, I don't think you can promote me, but I can promote you. What you're experiencing is a little disparity in leverage and power. And you have to give me something, because it'll be me that's promoting you, not the other way around. So how do we do here? Everybody happy with their dungeon? Did we get a lot of points? Let's check how we did on the clock. We beat the clock by a lot. It did go a little bit slow though. These guys, there were some problems. I didn't have a problem with these guys. This entire dungeon, I was fine. I healed them. I didn't care that they weren't dispelling and stuff like that. However, some other people in the group were getting a little upset at the guys who were not dispelling, and they were getting a little frustrated there. And they were right. That was a little bit of a problem, and they're going to suffer at higher keys if they keep doing that. And also my healing too. I was talking, so I was like not DPSing as much. I was just kind of healing as much as needed to be healed, and not really much more. Not a lot of extra DPS going on there too. So my behavior too would have suffered at higher mythics. At higher mythics, I would have to be much more focused. But this is a low one, so it doesn't matter. We can just kind of hang out and be chill. Should we do another one? I guess, pretty soon they're going to be bringing me a Philly cheesesteak, so I can't imagine I will be hanging out for too much longer. But I'll be here. I have enough time for another one, I'm sure. I just sent a message in the chat for that little Twitch bug just to see if that's what it is. Because we don't know. We don't know why that happens, but there's nothing wrong with the stream as far as I can tell. I'm getting a very solid stream. What Twitch does with the stream after it gets into Twitch, that we can't control. So we know that the stream coming into Twitch is good right now. At least it's good because I'm watching it on Twitch, and it's smooth. And if you're watching it and it's smooth on any resolution, like 480, 720, 1080, then it's smooth. Then that means it's this stream is fine. If there was a problem with the stream itself, then you would see whatever glitch or bug, you would see that on all of the different levels and all of the different regions. One of the things Twitch and Jess have taught me is different Twitch regions behave differently. So you can have a smooth, low latency stream in one region, and then you can have something different in a different region. That means higher latency, the low latency is not working. You get high latency, and then sometimes you even get, I've seen other things happen. So I can't control any of that kind of stuff. No streamer can. Twitch is a little bit of a black box when it comes to that kind of stuff. They don't really talk about exactly what they do on the back end, although we know because, I guess, over the years, kind of piecing things together and talking to Twitch staff and people have currently working at Twitch or previously will kind of, kind of fill in the missing pieces. But I think for the large part, from on a day-to-day basis, like what Twitch is doing on the back end and what changes they make on a regular basis, those things are pretty unknown. And they don't want Twitch employees talking about that stuff. They try to keep it pretty tight. It's kind of funny when you talk to somebody at Twitch or somebody who knows the answer to some of these things, how they will purposely not even divulge even the common knowledge, things that we even know. They'll even tell you false things sometimes just because they wouldn't want to get caught, telling anybody how it actually works. But so it kind of suggests that, they might have NDAs or they might be feeling pressure or they just might be chicken shits. Like, they don't want to be liable for any type of information. That's understandable. Hey, you do you. You know how your paycheck works. You do how you do. We do how we do. It's all good. So do you think that ad that we got was like a view bot, possibly trying to come into our channel and advertise? I didn't know those still even existed. I remember those one time whenever I was streaming on Adobe. I don't know what year that was. It probably had to been, shoot, who knows? Like coming up to 10 years, I'm sure. That'd be funny if it was more than 10 years, but yeah, about 10 years ago, there was a big problem. Like Adobe was super confused about view bots when I was streaming on their channel. Like they didn't understand how they worked or why they were happening or, and Twitch, I don't know. I think people at Twitch know how they work. There's been rumors that Twitch knows about like the proxies and stuff that are being used, that they know who's viewbotting and who's not. But there's never been evidence that Twitch has ever known or even keeps track of that kind of stuff. I fully believe they've investigated, and I fully believe that they've have results of their investigations, but I don't believe they actually track these kinds of things. That's speculation. But what we do know for sure, what's not speculation, is that Twitch doesn't care about view bots. As in they don't do anything about it. So if you know somebody who's boosting their channel or something like that, you pretty much don't worry about it because Twitch is not going to do anything about it. You can report them and stuff like that, but it's not an actionable thing on Twitch. And it is against the terms of service. You can't... There's a great many things related to the way you use the service that could be considered abusive. And so, under the terms of service, there's a lot of leverage to take action against botters, but for the most part, Twitch doesn't do it. So does that mean you can go out and viewbot all you want and use artificial bots to your channel? Yes and no. Yes, in that, it's unlikely that anyone would do anything about it. So you could if you wanted, but no, because your viewers will think you're a real douchebag if you go around viewbotting your channel or other people's channels. People typically don't like and don't respect fake views and fake, faking and stuff like that, right? Nobody when you find out somebody's doing that, you're kind of bummed out about it. Doesn't seem legit, doesn't seem real. The community gets to start feeling like it's not legitimate and stuff like that, I think, at least historically. In fact, there has been probably very few people. So we know a lot of people viewbot, and you probably know who's doing it. I'm sure plenty of people are doing it right now. Twitch themselves even have been known to viewbot certain channels in the past. Whether they still do that or not, I don't know. I kind of feel like Kick does some of that stuff. Kick has kind of followed Twitch Like Kick today is like Twitch a long time ago. And when Twitch started off, they used to, you know, artificially boost channels and stuff. And I think they still do. It's just, it's different, I think, how they do it. But you know, what does it mean? Like, you know, can you do it? It is against the rules. So if you got caught doing it, and some streamers have gotten caught doing it, and they have been banned. So, for example, streamers have been caught using those control panels, like maybe the one that guy in the chat was mentioning. The spammer in the chat, you know, talked about what they call a management panel. Now, I have no idea what they're talking about, and I don't know what that website is, or even if it's even real. Definitely don't go there because they're just a spammer. But we know that if you show those management panels on your stream, then that's proof. That kind of links you to the botting activity. And so those people have gotten banned for showing that, you know, it's basically evidence that they're using third-party tools to boost or, you know, whatever it is they're doing. So that used to happen in the past, but I haven't seen that for a long time. You guys that watch Twitch all the time, maybe you guys see it. You know, you can tell me if you have seen it and if it's still going on. But I remember seeing it because there was some high profile. Oh, and I know what else happened one time. Now I'm starting to remember now that I'm talking about it. There was a guy who ran one of the botting companies, and he got busted. Like, they found out that, you know, I think maybe Twitch hired an investigation or something, and they wanted to find out like where all these streamers were getting all these views from. And it led back to like this dude, and they were able to track him down, and they were able to sue him and take action against him. And he got busted. He got busted in court, and I think one of the court orders was that he had to release his customer database. So then Twitch got hold of all of the streamers who were using that service, because by law they were able to, you know, capture his servers or capture his company or whatever, and they were able to dig through all of his data and his customers, so they knew how the view botting worked. They knew who was using it, you know, which credit cards were linked, which emails. And so I don't think they banned everybody that was using it, but they did get a few high profile streamers that were using the service that got banned. And I think some of them never came back. And they were great content creators too. Like they could have had, you know, thousands of concurrent viewers without any botting, but they were like, you know, they were going pro, you know, they had like 1,000 concurrent viewers and another couple of thousand on top of that were just fake view botters. And nobody could tell because they were pretty big streams, and the streams seemed legitimate. The creators were good and, you know, pretty good in terms of being creators. But they were just kind of view botting on the side too, just to kind of boost their, you know, kind of sweeten the view count, I guess, is what they were doing. And they got busted. And it was sad, and the community hated it. And I remember the backlash, you know, on Twitter and stuff. People were like, oh, I'm so disappointed, you know, the streamer tricked us. And, you know, so I think that kind of taught us, you know, but today it's different. You know, I think every couple of years, the culture on Twitch, you know, it changes, it cycles. So the same thing that pissed people off years ago might be different from the things that piss people off currently, right? So who knows what happens? Maybe nobody cares about view botters anymore. Maybe the services are still going. I don't know. That's one thing I've never wanted to do, is run a view botting company. Like sounds like the dumbest thing anybody could aspire to want to do and actually spend their time doing. Like that, just because the community hates it. The companies will sue you for it. You know, it's against the law, essentially. You're like abusing infrastructure. And it's like this weird form of terrorism in a way, I feel like, those kinds of things. Like, it's not an honorable platform. It's just scummy in a way, don't you think? I think it is. Anyway, the dude who sent that message, I still didn't ban him. So, if you tell me to, I will. I don't know. I'm not banning anyone right now. So, if you don't ban him, then I may or may not ban him. But it's definitely bannable. I'd say it definitely should be banned for sure. That's a weird. I was gonna say that's a weird outfit, but I don't think that's an outfit. I think that's just that person's like naked. I think that's as naked as you can be in WoW, right there. I don't think you can be anywhere naked. I think that's as naked as WoW lets you be. It's funny. I'm a night elf too. That's right. I'm a female night elf. In the game, not IRL, just to be clear. I'm sure there's plenty of guys who look just like me who identify as female night elves IRL, but it's in-game, not IRL. Hyperstate, this is absolutely. Oh, check this out. This guy wants to do Ruby 7. Okay. Oh shit, can I do? I'll do it. I'm not doing anything else. I'm not even pushing. Gotta get a smaller hitbox. Lol. Lol. I'm just waiting for a Philly cheesesteak. I was promised a Philly cheesesteak. We don't know if it's going to happen or not because I was also promised a beer earlier and didn't get the beer. So am I going to get the Philly cheesesteak? I don't know. But if I do, you know I'm going to go munch that. Oh shoot, Nightbot is still throwing that error. I haven't fixed it yet. I actually forgot that Nightbot was doing that. Nightbot should fix its own errors. I shouldn't have to fix that. Yeah, totally. Yeah, why do I? Nightbot is like, yo, go like update your stuff. I'm like, really, Nightbot? Like, you should just take care of that for all of us. Thanks. That'd be great. I'm also streaming on YouTube. I'm watching both. I can see YouTube and Twitch. I have YouTube on monitor 1. My game is on monitor 2. And then Twitch stuff is on monitor 3. And that's all I see right now. I just see chat and game. It's pretty cool. Hyperstate. Right on. Thanks for stopping by. What game is starting? Wow. A dungeon? I'm going into a new dungeon. These guys want to do I think Ruby 7. Is that what I said? Yeah, Ruby 7. Ruby 7 is really not that bad. I just did like 10++ in Ruby like last night, and it was easy. You know, you notice, I don't know if you guys notice, but when doing these dungeons, sometimes I'll do like a low dungeon, like this last one I did was a 6, and it wasn't hard for me, but some of the guys seem to be struggling. You'll have these low dungeons that are pretty easy. Everybody's like relatively geared, like plenty geared otherwise, and they're struggling. So, and then you'll have these high mythics, you know, like, you know, whatever you might consider high mythics that might be like hard, you know, you got to be geared for those. They're a little more competitive. The mechanics count. Nobody can really mess up or everybody dies. You have these higher mythics, and they will sometimes be subjectively way easier compared to the low mythics. And why is that? I think it's a lot of things. It's like skill level, like when everybody is synergizing together, like, you know, everybody had their coffee and breakfast or something, and, you know, they're just playing. They're just, you know, well, let's put it this way. They're not whacking off or watching TV on the side. You know, they're actually playing. So everybody's playing, and then, you know, it gets really easy. And then maybe also it can have something to do with the comp. So certain combinations of groups you know, when a group has the right classes and the right specs, and they kind of synergize together because it's the right meta for that dungeon or for that task. That's another reason that it can seem really, really easy at these higher levels. So when you're pugging these Mythic Plus, I find that you really just, like, if you know what comp you're looking for, you can shoot for it, or you can just keep re-rolling, just keep play more Mythic Pluses, and you will, by chance, you know, land on a good group. They might all happen to be playing and they're not watching Chatterbait, they're actually playing, or it might just be the right comp, and so everything kind of just falls into place. And that's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, one or more of the people in the group are just doing something else while they're in the group. They're not paying attention, and it's like a struggle, you know, or it's just a terrible comp and there's just no synergy. You know, everybody wants to win, but it's like going uphill against the wind because something is bad about the comp, you know. And I don't even have a good example for bad comps because I don't think I know what the best comps are. All I know is I'm a Resto Druid, and I am the best part of any great comp as a Resto Druid because Blizzard loves Resto Druids. So that I do know, at least. And I think that's unfortunately kind of true, too, because I think these pre-patch changes favored Resto Druids a little bit. At least it seems like it. I feel like these new abilities are cooking hot. Let me check on something really quick. I may not have time to stay in this group because of that food that's coming. So let me check. Is that thing coming out? That's kind of funny. The little baby's going crazy in there, playing with his brothers. So I'm going to bounce out of this group because I just got word that Philly cheesesteak could be coming soon. What I would like to do, I don't think we're going to do it tonight, but I got to try to arrange it. Got to plan it out. I would like to take you guys droning on the stream. So we've done it before. And, you know, there's a lot of people that like to stream their drones. Drones are getting a lot easier to stream, especially if you have the Psynaps system. But it's hard for me to stream drones because I'm always like just droning around my house. So I got to find somewhere a little bit out to go. Were you going to tell me something?
No. I was just going to say it'll be here by 6:10, but like I could get it all set up and then...
That's a cool shirt you got.
And then the Adam Sandler mom.
You what?
Or just dress however I want in baggy shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Miss Psynaps is like super hot. She's like super hot mama. She's wearing super hot outfits. I can't show her on camera.
Oh my goodness. That's so sweet. Daddy being too sweet. I love you and Daddy being too sweet to me.
Oh, hello, little baby.
I'll tell you when it's ready.
Let's see if you guys. Let's see if I could zoom out the camera a little bit. I don't think so, but let's see. Wave at the stream. Hi. You can't see him, but he's waving. Little tiny baby over there on the other side of the baby gate. Hi, I saw you. He'll say clear words, like he'll say, "Hi, Dada," and then he'll just start saying, blah, 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 like just like a bunch of jabber. I don't know what he's trying to say. It's very hard to try to speak baby. Some of the words or the syllables come out and you know what they're trying to say, but then the other half will be like, who knows what they're saying. I just nod my head and say yes, okay, or, you know, I'll guide the conversation. How do you talk to babies? It's not easy. All right, well, since we're chilling for a couple of minutes, let me try doing some tests. I want to see something. And I clicked the wrong button. I ended up clicking on the front page of Twitch just now accidentally. And guess what I see? I see Twitch needs some more content, so I'm glad I'm alive right now. And I see a lot of my friends are streaming. That's awesome. You know when you go to Twitch and you're like, where's all the content creators at? And then you have to go live? Yeah. Happening. It's happening to me right now. Alright, let's try this. Yeah, that worked. I guess it's... Yeah, right on. So although we do kind of have some gripes and complaints about the Twitch bit rates, like as in, you know, the bit rates don't really go that high on Twitch. And that's a problem because we want to stream at higher qualities. Basically, and Twitch has limits on how high you can set your quality. Despite that, and also I'll add, you know, just compared to like YouTube, for example, YouTube will let you stream at higher bit rates. You know, a lot of platforms do. Most all platforms except for Twitch and Kick will let you stream at higher bit rates. So that's a problem, but the good news is Twitch still lets us stream at source quality, and they're trying to take it away with their new Twitch beta program. They want to take away source quality in a way, in a pretty big way, actually. So it's nice. I kind of like right now, I think we should enjoy the fact that right now you can watch the stream at source quality. That means you can watch the full quality stream as I'm streaming it to you. You know, basically as I'm streaming it to Twitch, you get to watch it at that quality. That's something I've always appreciated because that's something YouTube doesn't do. Even though they let you stream at those higher bit rates, which can go up to 4K quality, 4K level resolution and bit rates, they don't let you watch that full quality stream. They actually handle the stream first and transcode it before they deliver it to the viewers. So that's something cool, interesting to know if you didn't know. But I think for YouTube it works out because you can stream at those higher bit rates. So you know, what ends up coming out on the other end is okay quality. It's pretty good quality. And that didn't used to be the case. I think a while back, the bit rates didn't go that high, so people didn't want to stream on YouTube because the quality was kind of like pretty crappy. But that's changed now. You can get it to work pretty good. Look at that person randomly just has low health. I can't heal them because they are... Why can't I heal them? Because they have like PvP mode on or something. So I can't heal them. I can only heal me. Oh well. I was going to save their life. F4s. Wait, how do you say it? F4Z? Alright, F4s. Yo. Yo, what's up? Happy to see you back. Checked in a while ago. I thought you were gone forever. Looking good. Oh. You know how to massage my ego. Well, you're looking great as well. So thank you for that. I really appreciate that. Glad you came into the chat. I decided to go live today because I was looking at Twitch and I was like, where's all the content? I guess I have to go live, you know? So I was like, just kind of rescuing the platform in a way. And also I just want to play some WoW and just hang out a little bit. So I'm glad you're here. I'll be here for a couple more minutes. I'm going to eat some... I have a Philly cheesesteak that I got to take care of on the way. And in the meantime, I was doing some Mythic Pluses and just hanging out and just testing the stream, testing my internet, making sure that it's smooth, you know, it's streaming and everything. Everything looks pretty good so far. I think I've been live for like 2.5 hours or so. I thought I might stream a little bit longer, but I think we're eating dinner early. I'll probably go outside. And then I thought, okay, so we're going outside. This would be a perfect time to stream the drone. And I want to take you guys out for a drone stream because I've been having a lot of fun streaming drones. And it's so easy now to stream drones. It's so easy, you know, especially if you have the Psynaps ingests. You can just stream, you know, as many drones as you want. And drones are looking better. Their batteries are better. They go further. They last longer. So we're gonna see more and more of that, and I'm pretty excited to share that with you guys. The only problem is streaming a drone outside is kind of a concern with privacy. You know, doing it so close to home. Like I don't want to like invade the privacy of my neighbors and stream it and stuff. You know what I mean? So I'd like to go out like to the park or something, or some park or some cool venue that would be really fun to join drone. It might be a little more public. I think that would be the best thing to do for drone streams. But otherwise, I'm droning all the time. Like I take pictures of these amazing sunsets. I do a lot of photography because remember, I used to be sponsored by Adobe. I mean, I never got unsponsored by Adobe. I mean, I guess, I don't know if I still am. I still use the software, so I guess technically I still am sponsored. And so I have all this software, right? I got all the Adobe software. So I take these awesome drone pictures, then I bring them into Lightroom. I should actually stream this. This actually sounds like, well, I mean, I think Adobe would like if I streamed this, but I'll stream it if you guys would like it. But just like a general like photo editing workflow for drone photographs. So I'll take these like sunsets or mountains or landscapes. That's all really a drone can do. I mean, you can take a picture of anything with a drone, but they just up in the air for these aerial photographs. They just take amazing, you know, aerial landscape style photos. And then we'll bring them into Adobe and look at the colors and stuff. And since I use a DJI, the DJI cameras are just nuts. They look so good. So many colors, so much to work with. It really is photography. And yo, Panda Sweet is here. What's up, Panda Sweet? What are you up to right now? Look at my mount. I love this mount. Some people hate it. It's a peacock. And it makes this funny peacock sound. And some people find it annoying, but I love it so much. And after this pre-patch, now I can fly it. Now I can glide it. So it's different now. Now I can glide. Look at it go. You haven't seen WoW gameplay in forever? Okay, let me see. How do I, what's the button to turn off my UI? There we go. Now let's just watch my peacock glide in the WoW lighting. Ooh, look at that. Are we getting like a lens flare or something? We're getting some sun shadows. I have to glide uphill though, so I have to pick up some speed. Watch, go like this. Then I go up. And then down. There's a little trick. So you can keep gliding. There it goes. Ooh, what's this thing right here? Look at that. Do I gotta like... Oh shit! You gotta fly through these. I think I got something. I don't know what though. Boop! I'm like getting things all of a sudden, spontaneously. And I don't know what they are. They're just circles I have to fly through. Somebody knows what these are, but not me. Whee! So yeah, this feels like a video game or something. Pretty soon I'm gonna run out of gliding speed and I have to recharge. Do I need these things? I don't know. Leather Nuke. Hey, Leather Nuke, that's a cool name. I like that name. The coolest things in this game are the flying mounts. They are cool. Do you like these new like gliding, this new gliding mechanic? I think it's pretty cool. I like it. I think it's cool enough that, oh, wait a minute. I just like completed something. Ah, I can't get my UI back. There we go. Let me see what I got here. I got, I'm looking for it in the bottom left, but I don't see. I got some kind of achievement, I think, or completed a quest. I don't know. But anyway, back to the mounts. The mounts are super cool. And Blizzard kind of limits what you can do with mounts, but they kind of open it up a little bit. They let other mounts glide too. So mounts that were not Dragonflight mounts, that were not specifically like gliding mounts, now they can glide like this one. So this Peacock mount used to be just like a regular flying mount, but now it can do the cool thing where, you know, you can glide it, just glides. I think that looks pretty cool. Colors in this game, WoW, it always has beautiful colors. Even though the graphics themselves have been kind of underwhelming, I don't think they are anymore. I think Blizzard over the years has updated enough time that, you know, like polygons and stuff are looking a lot better now. They finally upgraded that. But WoW has always had incredible colors. The color design by the people who design the dungeons and stuff are always like spot on when it comes to coloring. We've got some pro colorists, it would seem. I'm gonna leave this area unless you like red. Everything's red. You know what my favorite color combo is WoW will do dungeons sometimes with this purple blue, kind of like purple blue red dungeon combo. I love those colors in dungeons. It's probably my favorite color combo. They retroactively changed the older ones. Yeah, that was just this week. This is this pre-patch business that's happening right now because a new patch is coming out. Forget what it's called. War something. And so they've retuned, like all of the specs got reset, so you got to respec. They're not like totally different. It's not like massive changes, but they're definitely significant enough changes that the specs got reset. So you got to go in and retune that. And then they made this change to the mount. There's probably a number of other changes that I'm just not tracking right now. But hey, am I going to be able to get back? Let's see if I can fly this thing. If I do it right, I can get up pretty high. I have to do this little up-down thing, because if you do that just right, you can actually cover a lot of ground and keep your speed. go up, press the, what is it called? It's called Skyward Ascent. Yeah, I came all the way back. So I went all the way down and came all the way back, and I have like full gliding power, pretty much. That's how you glide, ladies. I'm just gonna stall out right here. Oof. Oh, I'm picking back up speed after stalling. Still going. I can hear my son going crazy in the back. It's like a little toddler playing with his brothers. Whee! Let's go check this way. See, there's that like purple stuff going on. I love those colors. I like those blues, man. I like those cool blues. Hey, check out these dragons. Oop. What if I just streamed this 24/7? And like didn't even say anything. It's just like ASMR gliding. Somebody must have already tried that. Is there a Twitch stream that just glides? 24/7 gliding stream. Feel the breeze through your beard. Damn it. Shouldn't have said that. Because now somebody's going to do it. Still my idea. I guess that's okay. Because I'm not going to stream this 24/7, so whatever. Boop. High Potential. Hey, High Potential's here. What's up? Notes to start growing beard. Oh, well, I can tell you, you know, there's a lot of known benefits to having a beard, but I do think that it does increase Twitch earning revenue, I do believe. It's a real moneymaker, I would say. You know, does it pump views? I think so to a certain point, but definitely the beard crowd, they're high dollar donators. I mean, the money just starts flying in once you start streaming beards, right? So that's one thing. And also, you know, ooh, what is this? Look at this. I just flew into like a little, oh, what is this crap? Did you hear my peacock like get pissed off when it hit that thing? Is it gonna kill me? Let me see. I'm trying to find my UI. No, it's not damaging me, but it like stalled me out. My peacock. Trimming mine to start trimming. Oh yeah, stop trimming. Yeah. So, you know, I think Harley from Epic Mealtime had the best advice for growing beards. He made this one meme one time. And it was like tips for growing your beard, and he was like, "How to grow a beard?" You know, all serious. He's like in the bathroom, you know, with a razor. He's like, "How to grow a beard?" He's like, "You just don't shave. Don't shave. That's how you grow a beard. You just let it grow. You let it grow. Don't listen to anybody. Like, who's gonna tell you shit about your beard?" I had an old lady one time in academia. There was this professor, and I call her an old lady because, you know, she basically talked negatively about my beard, but not directly. She was very, oh look, you could run into, I think this might be a quest right here. Yeah, it is. You gotta hit all these fireflies. Oh, that's dumb. I like it. But anyway, this lady, she kind of like passive aggressively, kind of, how would you describe it? She kind of made some comments about my beard when I started growing my beard as a postdoc. And it was so awkward. I was like, is she really suggesting that I should shave my beard? Because I was growing it out. I was just letting it grow. You know, it wasn't the most flattering of beards because it was in that phase where it was just kind of growing out. But there's nothing wrong with it. It wasn't like a bad beard like Keanu Reeves, bless his heart. such a good, nice guy. Terrible beard. Don't worry about your beard also. If you have a terrible beard, like, it doesn't matter. Just grow it. And so you just grow it. And so I grew it, and I didn't try to shave it, even though the old lady was kind of, suggesting maybe I might consider tightening it up a little bit. And everything worked out. Everything's fine. Let it grow. You have a natural beard. And then if you want to show other people that you're, taking care of your beard, you can shape it. You can do things to it. You can even join the oil club, where the guys that like to put pheromones and weird shit in their beard. I'm not into that. That's a little bit too much. I'm kind of a guy when it comes to grooming. I'm a little more natural. I just like kind of let it grow. No oils. It doesn't dry out. I don't have an itchy beard. I don't have dry skin. It's just a natural, beard. It's not oily and it's not dry. It's just a beard. I don't think you should do anything to it. It's like, don't do weird shit to your beard. I mean, if you want to, go ahead and have build a bird cage in your beard if you want. You've seen the guys that, they put birds in their beard and like they win competitions and stuff from their weird, funky beards. Like, that's extreme. Just be natural. Just normal beard. Hey, check it out. I see Trustin on the YouTube side. I'm streaming on both YouTube and Twitch, by the way. Right now, I'm just waiting for dinner to arrive. I did a mythic, and now I'm just gliding until that food comes. Oh yeah, but the stash, that does look cool though. High potential, that is a cool one where you do the stash. If you've got a good mustache, then you can do the mustache, shave beard and mustache. That's actually it's actually pretty legit. That's a good one there. So if you can do it. Yeah, Trustin, what's up? You got Christmas ornaments. I think Christmas ornaments okay. Being festive is okay. If you grow one of those beards like can be a bird cage, I feel like that's a longer term thing. Ornaments, that's just like a festive thing. You can run them on Christmas, and then you don't have to run them the rest of the year. But if you've got like a ZZ Top style beard, that's like a full time commitment. So I feel like my beard is very it's like self-maintaining. It doesn't get too big, doesn't get too small. Whoa, check this out. Something's happening on my screen. Things are flashing and spinning. Trustin just resubscribed 30 months. But you know what? Thank you, Trustin, but I know for a fact Trustin has been subscribed for more than 30 months. That just happens to be whatever Twitch decided to keep track of at the time. But Trustin's been subscribed for a long, long time. Is also a developer and talented developer and gamer and part of the community, part of the family. And it has been a while, man. Thank you for that. And welcome back. It's good to see you. So we gotta catch up. I stream so intermittently but we're actually catching up, between streams. I definitely need to stream more often. And Twitch needs me to stream too, because all this, mediocre content on Twitch. We got to raise the bar. We like to raise the bar. We like that. That's fun. Oh, by the way, speaking of streaming, High Potential, you got to check out High Potential stream because I started working with him recently. And speaking of streams that are just more sophisticated, we could say elegant. There's so many words, there's no word. I probably can't find the word that would describe it, but that's kind of how we like to stream here. And I feel like the community that High Potential is growing on his side is very much like that. There's a lot of similarities, I think. So you guys will probably like his stream, and he's also a scientist, so you'll catch him doing some strange things in his laboratory, and that's always fun. Strange scientific activities. Who's to say it's strange or not strange? You can judge for yourself. We don't know what strange is. What's strange is this last one of these recent videos from Neil deGrasse. Neil deGrasse Tyson. He has a YouTube channel called I'll remember what it's called. I think I'm just forgetting right now, but he's got a channel where he does some interviews and they just talk philosophy. You know, they talk science and philosophy, and he'll have some heavy hitters come onto his show, and he'll do some interviews and stuff. And he just recently did one about quantum computing, and I happen to be starting to work with, and I'm working with people that are working on quantum computers, and I just recently got in touch with a quantum group that's doing microscopy. So they're trying to use quantum imaging to resolve small magnetic fields and stuff for various applications in physics, biology, electronics, and some various other stuff. You know, I'm still learning. I'm still a student of this quantum business. But anyway, I was watching Neil deGrasse and the physicists talking about quantum mechanics, and I gotta say, there is a huge disconnect between, practical applications of, quantum mechanics and quantum physics and quantum theory. It's too far of a detachment. I don't know exactly what it is, but I have this strong sense. It's this sense of wild disconnect, and it could just be in my own mind just because I'm not a quantum physicist myself. I know I'm just a student of quantum physics and even physics in general. But I was a little bit offended by some of the talk I was hearing. I was hearing talk about, origins of the universe and quantum computing us, bringing us closer to learning about, the universe, and just hearing some of these theories. I think what's going on here is that scientists in physicists, I guess more specifically in quantum physicists, are trying to connect to the general public by using language and ideas that the layperson understands. But to me, as a scientist who is not really a layperson but still a student in physics, I'm a little bit offended by the generalities that just basically generalizing information and making it a little easier for the layperson to digest. It just makes it seem too fluffy and too philosophical. I want to be more concrete and more practical. So when I attack quantum physics, I'm really going to be looking for not solving the origin of the universe and finding out where our universe came from. I think I heard analogies that our universe is like a bubble, and it came out of a bubble bath of other bubbles, and there's other universes. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? If you're talking about a quantum mechanic theory, please just name the theory you're talking about. Our universe is not a bubble in a bubble bath of lots of bubbles of universe. I was very offended by the nomenclature that these guys were using. Because you don't know anything about what happened before the universe, and your quantum computer is not going to tell you that anytime soon. So it was quite I was a little raged with Neil deGrasse's recent entertainment, rather. So long story short, I really want to tackle quantum mechanics in a practical way, and I really want to work with these groups that are trying to use this technology right now, and I want to understand what it means and what it means for the future of things like AI and microscopy and understanding biology and the brain and stuff like that. But Neil has been like that a lot. Yes, high potential, yes. The more I watch Neil deGrasse Tyson, the less I can watch him. I think he's gotten a little out of hand. We need to bring him back down to Earth, because it's not that he's floated off into space in terms of physics, theoretical physics. It's not that. It's that he's embellishing the storytelling too much, where the stories are being lost. So, but I'm not gonna unsubscribe. I still watch him. He's incredible, and he is a spokesperson for science, to the layperson. I think he's doing great work, but we need a physicist too. And here's another thing that worries me too, and I think it's just me. I think this is all just me. I'm just having an opinion. This is my stream. I'm on the Psynaps channel, so I'm gonna rant. The rants will come out. Give me enough time, and you'll catch a thick rant sooner or later. But I think it's just me because people love that kind of stuff. I think when they watch Neil deGrasse Tyson go up in front of lots of people in public. And oh, I ran out of steam. Look, I got to float down. Let's see if I can glide. See if I can glide some speed out here. People love it, and I think they love the physics. They're not getting physics in their everyday diet, so the little bits of awesome science that guys like Neil deGrasse and others are providing is just enough for that light diet, and so that's a good thing. I think that's pro science, and I can't knock it too much, but I think as a guy who really wants to know, I want to be on the edge. We're on the precipice of something big with our understanding of quantum physics and applications in science and stuff. And so there's something there and we're waiting for it. And in that case, I need it to be a little more not so entertainment. I need it to be a little more scientific. So anyway, I have a lot of work to do when it comes to that stuff. I've got a lot to learn myself, so I'll be working on some of that stuff. Just Watching says, I haven't seen you in a while. Well, I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome to the stream. And I think it's important just to pick out exactly which application it's going to be efficient in. Right, and in order to determine that, you must really understand it. And I think that the understanding of that stuff is pretty far away for the most part, but papers are getting published. I mean, I've been looking at this microscopy stuff, and I have a lot to learn too. So I do have some expertise in microscopy, and I've even published first author papers and had cover images on the journals that I've published in based on the microscopy work that was used in some of that research. So I love microscopy, and I love showing off my love for microscopy. So getting to look at small magnetic fields and stuff, although that is quite abstract compared to the standard 2-photon or confocal fluorescent microscopy that I'm used to using in biology, just for resolving various fluorescent or even sometimes magnetic markers. Got to do MRI one time and image magnetic particles in the mammalian brain, in a live mammalian brain, not a dish. Real brain, watching those neurons are running around in the brain after injury. So the magnetic part is incredible. In fact, it's one of my best memories in biology was the magnetic labeling stem cells with magnetic particles and then tracking those stem cells as they differentiate into different cells like neurons and astrocytes and become functional integrated cells into the living brain. Seeing is really believing. When you take a biology class, if you told me, biology is boring, I would agree with you, because that's exactly what I thought when I first got into biology. I was like, this is boring, but it's because the way biology is taught many times is actually very boring. But getting to see it yourself with your own eyes in the lab, in a living brain, that was what really touched me. And so that's the kind of stuff we have to do when it comes to quantum, because right now quantum is so far away. We have the leading experts in quantum mechanics talking about a bunch of bullshit, because I get it. Their life is hard. Their life is very, very hard. Trying to find funding for quantum mechanics must be a living nightmare. So it's forced physicists to go out and say crazy things on TV to try to legitimize their art, their stuff. And so I think it won't be so hard for them if we can kind of find some real nice applications for these technologies. Magnetic microscopy, right. And I'm still, I'm very novice in the nomenclature of quantum-based microscopy. Okay, there's lots of nomenclature that I've been looking at in Nature papers lately that I'm not going to be able to communicate right now until I really, start talking about it a little bit more. But yeah, so what are they doing? I don't know. But I'm looking at Nature papers right now from 2014, 2016 that are using some of these quantum techniques in microscopy to resolve very small magnetic fields. Very small, in the microns resolution. I don't know how small they can resolve, but you can do this with a very low power device. A very small and low power microscope can resolve these micromagnetic fields. And why is that important? Well, there's going to be a bunch of applications in electrical engineering and in biology and all kinds of stuff. But you have to compare that now to what I know of for resolving magnetic fields, like an MRI. Do you have any idea how big and expensive the MRI is? Basically, I was part of a group when I got to play with the MRI. There was a facility that was built on campus at the med school. And when they built the MRI, they had to build a special structure. They had brought a crane. The crane had to drop the magnet in. And we're talking about high power magnets here. So there's all this specialized equipment in order to drop this thing in. They dropped it in. Who knows how much it cost? It cost lots and lots of money just to build and then to maintain. And then it's like a sacred research tool. It's like you have to sign up for it. There's a director. You have to go through all of these hoops. And then it's a giant high power magnet. So you can't even go in the room without stripping your body of metal. You have to take the pens out of your pockets and God forbid you have a metallic implant in your body. Maybe you've had a surgery and you've got a screw in your knee or a BB behind your eyeball or something like that. Then you can't even enter that room. So, and there's safety issues, like if I don't know if you guys have seen those videos where there's been MRI accidents, some mishaps with pressurized air canisters and stuff coming loose into the MRI room and bouncing around the magnet. It's quite scary, to be honest, that, so we're talking about the MRIs are ridiculous in a way. And could we answer the questions using a smaller, maybe a quantum-based device? I think that's what we're looking at here. So, I like that. The gas canister one. I think we had to watch those. I think the reason I saw those was because to use the MRI, I had to go. We had to go through a training, just a basic training that involved watching a video. This is what will happen if because nurses will you just forget. They'll just go in the room and they don't forget that they've got a pen or something, in their pocket. They take their phone in there and get too close to the magnet. It's like, whoop, it's like, imagine you had a surgical implant, a metallic implant. I don't think they do metallic implants. I think everything is plastics and polymers and stuff now. But, should you have a metal implant, maybe in some cases they still use them, and you get too close, you pass that magnetic field. I think it's like a black hole. That MRI has a point of no return zone. It's got the that point at which when metal goes on one side or the other of that imaginary point, the magnetic field just gets strong enough that it just sucks it right in there, and you're not going to get it back out. So that's that's awesome and scary. High voltage, large magnets. Yes. And also, I don't know if you typed it in there, but low temperature. So you have to keep them cool. And so the amount of liquid nitrogen that you have to use to continuously cool down whatever those elements are, the MRI, for everyday function. So now you have a running cost to operate these machines. It's a continuous kind of upkeep. It was invented by SBU professor. Oh, nice. 15T. We had a 4T. It was a baby one. But we were also using animals too. So it was a little one, and the 4Ts, they're still fine too. And then the 15Ts, the larger MRIs, I can't even imagine, I think the one I was working on was a 4T. And then we were doing mammalian brains. So they don't make MRI parts for animals. They make them for humans. So we had to use this like a wrist coil. You know, there was an adapter as a coil for a human wrist that we used to image the rat brain, and it worked fine. We kind of had to hack the thing to use it for animal use, but that's actually what it was for. It was there for, I don't know if they were even running humans through it at all. I think we're running animals and stuff, various things people were researching at the med school. Well, I gotta go now because guess what? Word just got in that the Philly cheesesteak has arrived. So I'm not gonna let that get cold, if you know what I mean. So I'm gonna go grab that. Thank you for hanging out for a little bit. I do fully intend to go live again. I don't know when the next time I go live is. It might be, you know, later tonight. I might just leave everything on and then go live later. But if not, then I do want to plan a cool drone stream just to test the drone tech. Drone is hard. You know, there's easy ways to do drones that work really, really well. That's probably not the methods I'm going to be. Okay. That's probably not the methods I'm going to be picking. I'm not going to pick like, you know, the hardcore drone thing. I'm going to go probably just take the drone out and go straight up RTMP into the Psynaps ingest and do it the old school way and see how good of a mobile signal I can get. Because that to me is like a really practical way that anybody can do. Not everybody can, you know, get one of the fancy DJI controllers that cost like $2,000 and then plug that into another box that costs $2,000 through HDMI and then stream that out using multiple modems all bonded together into the cloud. That's the method that is really, really well, and we can do that method, and we do that method, and I know how to do that method, and you know that's methods we've practiced. But that's not the method that, to me, is the fun one. The fun one is the hard one, the one where you just try to go DJI RTMP into the cloud off of a single modem with, you know, so that's what I want to try to do next time. So we'll see how well that does. And I've done that before, and it went well last time. Well, one of the times the signal was kind of crappy, so it was not that great. And then the next time I did it was really good. And then I built a little Raspberry Pi to like flip it to SRT, and then that was even better. So we'll do something like that for the next one. That's what I'm planning. So make sure you join me on Discord. Don't forget I have a Discord. I am your friend. I'm literally just a Discord away. So whether you want to send me messages on Discord or not, at least join the Discord. And I don't care if you drag it all the way to the bottom of your list of Discords because I'm fat and I look funny and you're like, I'm going to drag you to the bottom so that, you know, you don't like, you know, mess up my Discord. You can do that. Just make sure it's there. So when you do want to reach out, it'll be there whenever you need it. So get me on there because I want to see you guys on there again next time. And that'll be it for now. All right. So I will talk to you guys later. Cheers. And thank you for those subs. Very appreciate it. Thank you for the follows as well on Twitch and on YouTube as well. And the VOD will probably be on YouTube too. So cheers.